On May 12, 1979, the front page of the Washington Post carried an article entitled "The Mount Vernon Monster." For 9 months, in 1978 and 1979, the strange creature wailed and screamed nightly in the woods just a mile from historic Mount Vernon. Some people called it the Mount Vernon Monster. Others referred to it as Bigfoot. Whatever the creature may have been, it was elusive, frustrating capture attempts by the police, flyovers by a U.S. Park Police helicopter, searches by volunteer youth patrols, and the determined efforts of the Fairfax County Game Warden to track it down. And thus an urban legend was born. Witnesses began to appear, happy to tell their tales to every passerby. One witness reported, "Just as I got to the edge of the woods, it screamed a second time, and I could feel the reverberations. I could feel it in my chest, and like if you stand in front of a bass speaker. I could feel it in my chest, and it made every hair on the back of my neck stand up, and I could hear twigs break and branches snapping." Years later, accounts are still circulating. I was one of those teenagers in the late 70s who heard the Mount Vernon Monster. I actually had a tape recording of it, but my little sister taped over it. Yes, down an unpaved road leading to Union Farm, we parked our cars late at night and quietly waited. Dogs would start barking nearby, and sure enough, then we heard the howl of the Mount Vernon Monster. I also have a friend who saw the creature not far from the back gate of Mount Vernon, off Old Mount Vernon Road near the Potomac River, one snowy day. She was nearly 200 yards away and at first glance thought it was a man walking towards the woods. She quickly realized it was not. She described it as large and hairy. The story made its way into oral history projects, which are now being cited by monster hunters as historical authentication of the creature's existence. One of the game wardens said, quote, "The thing seems to know when you leave the woods, then it starts to holler." One resident said she spotted the monster. She described it as a creature about 6 feet tall, which lumbered into the woods after being sighted. The howling stopped as abruptly as it began, but the story lives on.